Hey guys, I'm Aerithia and welcome to episode 9 of the Forgotten Realms. Today I will be working on the exterior and I just have to say I love the end result. I haven't been this excited for something that I made in a while, so just be sure to stick around to see how it all turns out. I won't finish the entire thing in this episode, well, most of it, but there's still a little bit of detailing I would like to do. Also, there's some things left inside that still kind of feel empty to me, so I want to kind of see what I can still figure out for that. But first I'm starting with the basic shape. I'm making sort of a skin to go over this huge mess that is on the outside right now. I started to notice how big this whole thing really is now that I have to put another layer on top of this and leave some room to be able to overlap things into the wall. It just became so huge. I'm trying to make this a blueprint, but I don't know if I will be able to keep it under 2000 objects. I just wish we had 10k. That limit would be absolutely perfect for me. I could just detail endlessly and make it as big as I like. 5000 even would just be so awesome. I could definitely just put this whole thing up and that would be so amazing. It would be so cool if I could just select this with a multi-select tool entirely and just make a blueprint out of it and share this whole thing. Because in this case, one is not really much without the other. The ride inside is just a mess on the exterior. The facility isn't really much without it leading to the ride, and the exterior is just a shell and a mess on the inside. So yeah, the whole thing kind of fits for what I'm doing here, but if I would make a blueprint out of it separately, I don't even know what you could really do with that. You have to adjust it so much, and I guess for a lot of people that actually use blueprints, not all, but some, wouldn't like just having to adjust it so much because they are downloading something and they expect it to be good as is. At the same time, it's also just me. I don't like just putting up something that is not completely finished for other people to use. That just kind of would bug me a lot, and yeah, that's something that I really don't like. I don't know, this is kind of my thought process right now. It's probably because I'm a little bit ignorant about it, because I don't use other people's blueprints. Not that I wouldn't, but not for a YouTube series that I'm doing. I'm just showing you what I can do now. If I would play just for myself, I would probably try out some blueprints from other people. If I would just say want to build a layout for a park and not so much the buildings or something like that, I could imagine a time like that will come again, where I'm just old school, like Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 or something, just building up a park and selecting scenery pieces to place down. I really do want to focus more on blueprints though, make buildings specifically for a blueprint. The level of detail that I want right now, that just messes it up a little bit for the series that I'm doing. I'm building very specific things for this specific park. The same kind of was for when I made the Ice Palace for the winter special. I really did want to put that up as a blueprint, but I had to compensate a little bit, and I got some comments that it was very cool but very simplistic, and I was like, that is not by choice, people. If it was me, I would go crazy with the details and I would have done so much more, but you also want a decent layout for the building itself. And that blueprint was actually 2000 pieces exactly, so I couldn't have done more even if I wanted to. For the exterior that I'm doing right now though, I'm thinking about maybe I can put in an extra day of work and just select the coolest part of it, which will be the top, which you will see in a little bit, and adjust it a little bit to make it suited for someone to use, a little bit more accessible and not so specific. So I'm still kind of thinking about that, and the things that I will do for this, I'm pretty sure I will do more with that in this sci-fi area. So maybe there will be some things that will be a little bit more suited for blueprints. But yeah, after this series I will probably start doing smaller projects and focus more on making blueprints. That would also give me the chance to start other games, which is something I really want to do. There's so much more next to Planet Coaster I would like to do, but this series is taking up most of my time right now, which is fine. I'm also doing Astroneer and still Skyrim with Osira, so busy enough, I would say. I can't wait to see what this park will look like when it's completely finished, also with the fantasy and the western area. Oh, I think it's gonna be great. So what I'm doing right now, this design that you're seeing here on the bottom floor. Oh, and here I'm skipping forward a little bit because I was just working on the basic shape for way too long, and there's so much more I want to show you. But I was looking for something that would completely fit with what I was doing here. It was a little bit intimidating thinking of a shape that would work on top of this. And the main thing for me was that I didn't want this to look too much like a big box, but something with multiple layers. Because it's so big, I had to find a way to break up the long walls a little bit. So the inspiration I took from that are these long lines that I have running over these walls. I don't even know what you would call that. Buttress? Is that castle specific? But I think you get what I mean. So that's basically the only thing I took from that, and then I was back on track with the ideas I already had, and that brings us to this point. I'm basically using these huge ship parts to create some cool things. Alien looking designs, and I wish I would have done this on the inside as well. It just came to me and I was like, I have to try this, and what comes out of it is actually really cool. So I'm just looking for all these parts that would fit well into each other, and yeah, like I said, I didn't want this to look like a big box, so I wanted to find a way to have some rounder shapes in here, and I will just build this up with this one design mainly, and at some places build from that point on. It's all very dark looking. It kind of looks a little bit evil or something. And that's just a style that I really like. I'm just not really into all the super colorful things. I like it when I see it, but when I'm doing it, it's just not my style. I really just love the darker colors, and mainly black. If black was a color, it would definitely be my favorite color. I don't know why, it always just feels right to me. It just feels a little bit powerful and subtle at the same time, and it looks great with every highlight color you can imagine. So black is for me always the way to go, and I try to veer off that a little bit every now and then because I can't always just be using black for everything. But when it comes to it, I always seem to make the coolest stuff when I just go for that, for my style, for something that I feel the most comfortable with. Pretty obvious that it works like that, of course, because something you're passionate about is always something that's gonna be your best work. But trying new things is also fun, like the main street was totally different from what I've done before in this game. So that's also just something that's really fun to do, but at the same time, after a while, I just get stuck a lot and never really sure if I really like the result. So this is something different. This is something that I really love, the whole alien thing. Like I mentioned before, movies, series, games. I'm just really into science fiction, and now that I'm thinking about it, I never really got the chance to do something with that style at all in a game like this. I think this is the first time that I can just go all out, and the way I was going on inside, I like the inside of the facility, don't get me wrong. I like it a lot, but it's more human-like than alien-like. And this is more the thing that I really wanted to do, the thing that I kind of had in mind from the start for the whole sci-fi area. And I kind of just went with the objects I got and got to learn the whole sci-fi style on the inside of the facility. And now that I actually know what I can do with these objects, I could go just full out, and the result of that you're seeing here. And the top part that I'm working on right now, I will work on that quite a bit more, but I will probably try to select that top part and see if I can put this up for you as a blueprint, just as a scenery piece. You could probably change it if you want to, put shops in it, whatever, but you will have to clean up the inside because I don't think I will have the time to completely do that. I might do some, but yeah, I can just see if I can put this top part up for you guys and see if that would work. It's not completely finished yet, and here I was still trying out a few things. So you see these windows that I used before for these spiky tower thingies. So I'm just deleting that right now. Like I said, I will probably do more in this exact style. I have a few ideas of what to do in this area. Someone mentioned a few episodes ago, I think, that I could maybe place down a drop tower with a ship above it so it looks like you get taken by aliens. I just love that idea, just really fun idea. The drop towers in this game are extremely high though, so that's the only thing why I'm not exactly sure if that would work for this park, since you're not really meant to see into the other themed areas. But I'm building down, lowering the ground bit by bit, and we'll see if I can make it work. But I really like that idea. We still need to have a battle somewhere outside between all the animatronics. And next episode I will place down the first flat ride for this area here, right here outside of the facility. And of course I want a coaster very soon. It's kind of crazy to think about that we're already at episode 9 and I still don't have a coaster. It's just so much work building up a park the way I'm doing it. If you think about real theme parks, it's kind of the same. First you have some shops or an entrance area, then you have some scenery pieces and flat rides before you enter the coaster areas. So it's kind of logical if you do things in the right order that it takes a little bit of time to get to the good stuff. But the thing that makes it good though is everything around it. At least I think so, the building up to it. I do have some plans for the coaster. I want to keep using these portals in this area if I can think of more ways to do so, but for the coaster the idea is to go through the portal and land in space, be in space. And the only way I can think of how that would work is to make it underground. So as always I kind of have to see how things work out at the moment that I'm actually working on it, but I'm really excited about that. That is something we'll work towards as soon as possible when I know where to place down the entrance for that. And that's kind of gonna depend on what we'll do next episode and how far I can get with planning out the layout a little bit. Because right now we just have this huge structure. It's a little bit too bulky for my liking, but that is because of the inside. I can't do much about that. Except for just keep adding these rounded shapes that I'm doing right now. But here I was working on this, how would you call that, landing strip? I don't know, something you would have in a science fiction space station or something. I'm just going off of things that I've seen before or just things that I randomly make up. But I think it looks pretty cool. All these ship parts are amazing, by the way. You can do so much with it if you see what I do in this episode with only the ship parts. So it's really amazing that they put that in separately and not just full ships, that you can also just adjust your own ships and make your own ships, combine objects with each other like I will do. I think in the next episode I will probably adjust the ships a bit that I'm placing down right now. I'm not really sure at the moment because I built this all in one go. I had way too much footage for just one episode, so we'll just work on that a little bit more in the next one and we'll place down some rides. Do some more detailing, just little stuff, but I will also just work on it a little bit off screen. Just placing down a few more of these things that I made to round the building out a little bit. I will copy it over and it will be sort of round, symmetrical, something like that. And over here I just wanted something a little bit unique. I don't really know exactly what this should represent, but maybe it's the place where the mothership can land or something, or a battle area, I don't know. It kind of felt like a stadium, like in Pokemon or something. But yeah, I should still close this off on the inside because there's a big hole from above. I was like, you never really see it, but I just never can leave it like that. That just feels wrong to me to just not close that up a little bit in the middle over here. Oh, and something I just haven't really thought about yet is lighting for this building. I'm using a lot of blue for an accent color, but I think green might look really cool on this. Also with the green portals, I think the green light should be something that will fit this pretty well. So yeah, I haven't really thought about that yet, but I think that will just make this building look so cool in the dark. I also really love all these little lights you have in these sci-fi pieces. There's just a bunch of little tiny lights everywhere, and that looks really cool in the dark. The attention to detail in this game is so good. Can you see all these little lines in all these sci-fi pieces? I mean, it looks just amazing. Here, just copying over that piece over there. That was a bit of work to get that all selected because it is all on one grid. And just trying to get the right angle down. Here I thought we should put up something for a defense system. We'll fence this off a little bit, like you could go up here. Because I won't finish the entire build in this episode, I will probably give you the tour of the whole facility in the next one, because there are still some things that I want to change on the inside as well. So when everything is done, I will give you a tour through the whole facility, show everything that I still have done. Also, it's pretty cool to fly through the ride that we made, the transport ride, because you've only seen the making of it in speed build and the ride itself, so it would be pretty cool just to show you different angles from that as well. So we'll take some time at the end of next episode to just show off all this, what we have done, before we move on to some new things like the coaster. Here, just trying something out with the terraforming, maybe some spiky, weird mountain thingies. I don't know, I was just kind of experimenting to see how that would look. And so I just kind of leave it at that, and I will change the color to all stone. So it kind of looks more like the moon or something like that. I don't know, we don't really have weird colors for terrain paint, so I can't make up like purple planets or something, which I would have loved to do. If you see all this black and make a purple and blue planet or something like that, that would have been just the dream, and that would totally finish this off for me. We'll think of something to add a little bit of color in this area too. I still want to make some custom alien plants or something like that. Something a little bit weird looking and not so natural. That's kind of the thing I'm worried about right now, because I don't really see a reason to use trees that we know. That would just kind of look weird for this area. Also, if I would like this to be some sort of moon base or something like that, you don't have trees there. So I'm kind of worried about that. The whole area is gonna be a little bit empty, and I just have to figure out a little bit of different things to do, maybe with the primitive objects or something like that. I don't know, maybe I can make some weird stuff. I have to see how that works out. I would have to take some time for that, just next to everything else, and just sit down and think of some weird alien plants or something. I don't know, that's gonna be a challenge. I'm so used to filling up empty spaces with plants and bushes and things like that, so that's definitely gonna be a challenge, but it's gonna be a fun one. So these walls are still all very empty, and here I was just kind of seeing if I could put this over. I'm gonna call it a buttress because I wouldn't know another name for it, but that just didn't really work out for me, so I decided to fill up these spaces in between and detail that a little bit. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that is gonna look a little bit empty because other things are just highly detailed, and I don't really like a mess of details. I want to highlight the details that I'm adding and not just place random things everywhere and you won't even see what you have done. I love a lot of detail, but at the same time I do like a little bit something that looks a little bit subtle too, and this building is not subtle in any way whatsoever, but I hope you get what I mean. Some empty spaces are artistic choices and not so much laziness or something like that. But that is almost it for this episode, guys. I hope you like the result. I'm very happy with it. We'll work some more on this and just finish it completely. I'm going to bed now because it's very late. Well, I could say it's very early and my voice is starting to crack, so that's definitely a sign that I should go sleep. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Planet Coaster and other games. Like the video so I know that you like what I'm doing. And leave a comment if you want to talk to me, if you have questions. So thanks so much, guys, and I will see you on the next one.